Review drug effects with Caveman Professor Harold B. Stone. He's a real Ivy League graduate.
We have now covered the general information about the effects of drugs.
You did? Crap, I must have forgot my
Here is
Ritalin.
a summary of what you know. 1. How is the drug taken?
Well, with your hands, I assume.
2. How does the drug change behavior?
Drastic increase in winning.
3. What are the different behavioral effects of the specific type of drug?
Effects on the same... What? Someone was high when they wrote this.
4. Does the drug create psychological and or physical dependence or tolerance?
Yeah, how long is this going to take? I got things to do. Answer me, damn it!
Later on, you will be given information on different types of drugs.
One such example would be the fistful of Quaalude I just took.
I will describe the effects of marijuana with the help of my assistant.
We will provide... Hey, where'd you get
Marijuana is usually inhaled from a kind of cigarette.
that? Anything else would be pure science fiction.
Marijuana changes behavior.
We've
by
secretly switched this man's
simply,
crystal with Folger's crystals.
and then depressing activity.
Like paying alimony or seeing Mick Jagger on Idol.
It can also change behavior by creating mild hallucinations.
Wait a minute, he's a caveman. Which one was a hallucination? The island, the children in the
Different
park, or
people
the
taking
bench?
marijuana may see different things. Assistant 1 might have this reaction,
Lou Ferrigno! No! I swear to God I didn't
whereas
take your picture.
marijuana might cause Assistant 2 to see this.
A lying PSA from the 60s. No!
Some people do not hallucinate.
Just the rare 99.9%.
Marijuana may make the same person hallucinate one time and hungry
Along with the
next.
ability to create matter from thought.
Marijuana creates a psychological dependence.
The same thing could be said for sex, chocolate, updating Twitter, and My Little Pony Friendship is Magic.
Knowing how a drug is taken, how it affects behavior, and what kind of a dependence it creates
We'll help you set a
helps
street
you
price for your
decision-makers
merch.
Identify the type of drug disaster. You people are the decision makers.
What if I decide to take
The
drugs?
data on the effects of drugs which you now have is only one area which you must consider in trying to figure out the nature of a drug disaster.
The nature of a Charlie Sheen drug disaster, however, is always apparent.
The diagram that you see is a summary of the different areas you must cover. In other words, for each type of drug, for example, LSD, narcotics, barbiturates, etc.
Bob Biggerts? Okay, now I know you're just making shit up.
Source, use, effects, and medical
Profit!
treatment.
Oh, wait, no.
Only when you have all this data will you be able to make an accurate decision about the type of drug being used. We can cross out drug effects, since you already know about these.
And you'll learn the others, eventually. I'm sure someone will stop by. But I'm on my cigarette break right now. That's smooth. I think caution was thrown to the wind when you decided to wear matching sweater vests. Yes, nothing says stranger danger more poetically or metaphorically than the sound of a piercing organ.
Doreen and Dan, the cautious twins, live in our neighborhood. They ask their mother where to play, as all good children should.
Mother tells
They
them
tell
not
her
to
who
play
their
with the
playmates
faceless
are,
children.
and let her meet them too.
Yo, this is
For
Vice
happy
Grip
talks,
Steve, Rocket Bottle Mary, Little Snorts,
and they
and
know
Chuck.
what to do. One
Bakugan
Saturday,
Brawl!
Doreen and Dan were called in from their play. They hurried to their mother's call to hear what she would say.
She hands them a
She
single
asked them,
bullet.
"Please
They
go buy
understand
some
what to
bread,"
do.
and sent them on their way. She knew they'd go straight there and back, and surely would not stray. So
Back then, the
off
streets
they
were
went,
made out of
the
rubber.
precious twins. They
Boing,
knew the
boing,
rules to
boing,
heed. No
boing.
matter what was offered them, they'd not give in to greed. Most people love a little child. Some grown-ups, though, are bad.
Turns out they love
Ones
kids
look
too.
Like good ones, like any mom or dad.
So sleep with a steak knife under your pillow is the general lesson of this short.
Don't let them give you any toys or anything to eat.
Yeah, officer, he was big and mean and standing next to a sign that said free samples.
But run fast up the street.
That's not bread, that's a mailbox from some guy named Brad.
They asked them to the
Ah, holograms! Don't go, kids!
That was great. They'd asked their mother anxiously. They'd really like to go. She told them,
Hell no.
Be back at noon. You must be prompt, you know. It's wonderful to play with friends, to run and swing and climb, to slide and yell, and all the while remembering the time.
Well, that
When
was
to the
fun.
restroom you must go at playground, parks, or zoo.
Okay,
Be
Dan,
sure
you
to
can let
ask
go
a
of my
cautious
hand now.
friend to
Dan?
go along with you. Don't stray away from
Yes,
all your
park
friends.
bathrooms don't
Put
usually
yourself
have
free.
attendance.
Stay near the crowd.
Found that out the hard way.
The swings, and Mother will be pleased. It's time to go. Doreen and Dan start home along the street, each watching cars and
Say.
signals too. They hurry home to eat. Along the way, a stranger waves just off the avenue. The twins remember Mother's words. They don't forget. Would you? A person may invite you to a house, garage, or shed.
Yes, because
Say
if
no
there's
to
one
him,
thing
then
kids
run and
love,
tell your
it's a
mother what he
shed.
said. Doreen and Dan, the cautious twins, run home as good kids do. For home's the very safest place when danger threatens you.
Unless Dad's
Back
been
home at
drinking
noon,
again.
right smack on time. The twins are hungry, say. But better yet, they get to go to the local matinee.
The new summer
Their mother
blockbuster,
says
Blank
it's
Square.
their
When it
reward
comes to
for
cornering
doing what
bad
she
guys, he's
remembering
alright.
rules and helping her with
You know what would
little
be a
household
better
chores.
reward? Moving to a place where the chances of having your throat slit every minute aren't so high.
So Sister Joan will go with them, a sort of chaperone. It's fun to see a movie show with pirates, Indians, kings, but shows are always pretty dark, and bad people may try bad things.
Little girl.
So when you go to see a show, if someone touches you, get up and move away from there and tell the usher.
I've spent years training for this moment.
Your hand or straighten up your clothes. Good strangers let a child alone.
A good stranger will ignore the heartfelt plead of a lost child dying at the bottom of a well.
Friends of Joan. Although she shouldn't, Joan then told the twins to go on home alone. Doreen and Dan
Oh, I think they might be safe. I mean, what are the odds of them running into another? Oh, for fuck's sake.
said he'd come to take them home.
But he said it with a really
Someone
weird
tells you
inflection,
he
so
was
you
sent
knew
to take
something
you
was
home
up.
to Dad. Skedaddle away as fast as you can. Perhaps that man is bad.
I'll get you someday,
Don't go away
cautious
with him
twins.
at all, although he
Come here,
asks you
listen, I just want to kill you. There's nothing sexual about it.
that help will come to you.
But if help never comes, it's not odd. It probably means you've done something to anger God.
That really was a fright.
Oh yeah,
They
they're
had to hurry on
devastated.
their way, for it was almost night. A car drove up, and in it was the cutest puppy dog.
Oh, hi,
The man
doggy.
said, "Come and see my pet."
My God, you know who I just realized would make the best narrator for something like this? General Akbar.
And remember too, if you should see a dog like this, would you remember too?
It's a trap!
If someone in a motor car should offer you a ride, scream
Fuck!
and run away, but do not get inside. If you can read the license plate, repeat it in your mind, or write it down upon the ground with anything you find.
Okay, I guess we're not going to report that number.
Twins, the alley looked real great.
At this point, it's probably the only place you won't find a
Growing
rapist.
dark and late. But Mother's words came to their mind, and though they'd like to go, they knew that this was time to stop. The best time to say.
So wait, are you implying that there are bad people in the abandoned buildings or ghosts? Because that's kind of what you're implying, and that sounds awesome to a little kid.
So even though the sun was low, they went the longer way. For safety first, they knew was best. At any
Until they
time
get
of
the
day.
belt.
And since they learned so very well these lessons, every one, here they are, all safe and sound.
Except for Sister Joan. She thought she could go to the mailbox alone, and now her lips are sewn to the butthole of an Asian.
They practice all the rules they learned. Would you? And you? And you?
Get your rest, kids. Tomorrow you got Sunday school with Father Murphy.